everyone. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Fangirls Assemble. I'm Faria, and joining me all the way from Kentucky is Kristen. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. I haven't seen you in such a long time.
It's been so long.
Like
It's been
2 weeks,
so
right?
long. Like forever.
Forever. I mean,
Yeah.
last 2 weeks it was I left you and Maddie. I'm like, you guys do the show. I'm busy, and you guys did a fantastic job, though.
Oh, thank you so much.
You guys
We had fun.
Yeah. Without me, you had fun without me.
It was hard, but then someone told us that a superhero Spice Girls situation was happening, and then it was easy because we freaked out.
Oh my god! Tell me more about
Yeah.
the superhero Spice Girl.
I guess it's gonna be like a cartoon, and they're gonna be superheroes, and I'm all about it. And I think it's a movie, if I remember right.
Whoa!
Yeah,
that is like
next
a
year.
lot of information that's coming to me.
Us too, and our heads exploded, and we loved it.
Oh my goodness! I saw the picture that Lee Clark posted about it, and I'm like, whoa! This is what is happening right now. If you were a Spice Girl, who would you be?
It's hard. I think I would be most comfortable as Sporty Spice.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite was always Posh. I would never want to be Posh. She was just my favorite. And I can't tell you why. I just loved her. I don't know.
Okay. Am I stuck being Scary Spice?
I love her too. So you should be.
Yeah, but
They all have girl power. That's what it's about.
That's all that's about.
Yeah.
Man, I listened to Spice Girls way too much growing up. Spice Girls and Queens. That's what I grew up with. And
yeah.
then
the best duo.
Yeah, then I realized that I don't like music all that much. Life was tough. Anyway,
Sad.
Before we get going, let's talk about where you go and buy all your comics.
Well, I recently placed an order on InStockTrades.com.
What is this about? Tell me more.
You can get fabulous prices on all of your collected editions.
No.
Up to 50% off, sometimes more.
What?
Currently, right now, I think until tomorrow through Labor Day, I believe.
Right, it is.
They have an extra 3% off discount code. Just type in "It's the Weekend" because it is, and you can get an extra 3% off. I've been very tempted to make another order. I just know I shouldn't, so I haven't. But I did make one, and one of the books I threw on there is our pick of the month. That is Heathen Volume 2. It is the end of Heathen, Vault Comics. We all three read it and loved it. It's being optioned for a movie, and we're so excited.
So excited.
You should pick it up. That's going to be there until Tuesday when the site updates. So you got to grab it. Grab it with the discount code because why not?
Right. So currently it's, I think, at $7.99. And with the discount, it's going to be even deeper, which is like almost nothing. And you should really go pick that up because we loved Volume 1. We reviewed it last year. Volume 2, we've been so excitedly waiting for. And here we have Volume 2. So
excited.
I don't know if there's a third arc going to happen. I know that Natasha Alterici is not going to draw it anymore, but we don't know. And the movie, as excited we are for it, I'm worried about whether people are going to be, this is too much like Thor. We shouldn't do this. I don't know.
If the Twitter hype has anything to do with it, it's
true.
gonna be big.
Yeah, I know that you tweet a lot. You're all about that Twitterverse.
I'm all about reading on Twitter more than tweeting, but yeah, I do read a lot on Twitter.
Yeah, you were there. I'm more like I got Reddit under control. You got Twitter. So,
yeah, we're just covering all the bases.
We're covering all the bases.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so go to InStockTrades.com for all your collected editions needs, including Heathen, which is our pick of the month. That's going to be continue until it was our pick of the month for
August. Yeah,
but it's gonna continue until Tuesday. So today, what are we talking about?
Well, one of our pick of the months was Moonshadow, this book right here, which we all agree has an amazing cover.
Right.
Put out by Dark Horse. I think we did. Do you not agree?
I agree.
Okay.
It has a moon on top of it.
I mean, it's a fabulous cover, and it's one of those, oftentimes here, I think you can also agree with this, we judge a book by its cover. I 100% did that. I'd heard about this. I'd heard about the author. He's written a lot of things that people love. And it's the first, fully painted comic book, I believe.
Right, in America.
Yeah. It's all fully painted. The art is very nice.
Right.
Very nice. I do like the art. So that's Moonshadow. So we pretty much agreed from the cover. This is
we agreed.
It's a gorgeous hardcover. I mean, look, and there's a cat. Come on, what are we doing here? We love cats. But so we're gonna talk about Moonshadow today, and I'll show you how far I got in it. Actually, let me hold on. Let me fix this. Here we go. I have a cute bookmark in it. I gotta. Oh, look, it's a little cat paw.
Oh,
it's so cute.
It's the cutest.
So that's how far I got. That's about page 100 and something, about 132. And I don't think I'm gonna be finishing it. Yay, Moonshadow.
So you went further than I did, because I read the first 2 issues and I was giving you like page by page update, and which was all just gifts, because I'm just sending you gifts, and most of the gifts is like, what is happening? What am I doing here? Why are we here? It was a tough read. Would you say, Kristen?
I'd say one of the toughest I've had all year.
And you read Vampirella by Anne.
Oh gosh, I forgot about that. That was pure torture.
So where would you rank this?
This wasn't pure torture, but I didn't enjoy it. Vampirella was torture. This, I hate to. It wasn't torture, but it wasn't great.
Hold on. You enjoyed that torture, but you didn't enjoy this torture. Is that what I'm hearing?
I did not enjoy Vampirella at all, and I actually haven't enjoyed any bit of Moonshadow, but I feel like there's just a big difference. I can at least appreciate the art in this, which was very nice. And the book itself, again, gorgeous hardcover that I'm sad I own.
Forever now.
I don't know what I'm going to do with it, because, again, I don't think I'm going to get past this page 132. Let me just look at this text. So it's not even just that there's a lot of text, and there is a ton of text, like too much text, a whole lot of text, right? That's just one page. It gets worse in some places, better in others, but mostly there's just a lot of text. It's not even that, because as far as I got, I did that in about a day, and then I just couldn't bring myself to pick it up again. They advertise it as on the front of every issue, if I can find one, basically a fairy tale for adults. That's what they call it. Yeah. Oh no, a fairy tale for grown-ups. There we go.
Not even adults, grown-ups.
Grown-ups. And on the back, Ray Bradbury loved it, and I love him, and other people who are acclaimed, and it's sold out pretty quickly on IST. People were very excited for it. I'm super disappointed. Again, I'm sad I own it. I have to say that my dad also got a copy. He has read stuff by this author. He loved this. We have a lot of text messages where we went back and forth about this, because he's like, oh no. And now he's convinced. He's like, you have to get past page 200. You have to get past page 200. That's when it gets good. And I'm like, I don't want to have to get past page 200 for something to get good.
Have he threatened you with disownment, or like, that you are not my kid, that kind of thing?
No, but he's really trying to convince me. And I'm like, but should I get past page 200 if I literally haven't liked even a page of this yet? It's full of horrifically unlikable characters, at least for me. Like some pure gross characters. I don't care about any of them or what happens to them. The cover, by the way, this little boy, it's about this boy and he grows up. That's his dad, which isn't a moon. It's some like creepy alien species that like impregnates his mother. I didn't like his mom.
Yeah, and the mother was like, kind of kidnapped at the very early on. And this is, by the way, this is not a spoiler, because what we are saying right now, that happened in issue 1.
Yeah, in the beginning.
And the thing is, the mom reminded me of that Ginny, Run Forest Run. What's her name?
Yeah, that's Jenny. Jenny.
Jenny. Yeah, it really reminded me of that character. Her mom was literally
I can
that
see that.
character.
Yeah, I can see that.
And she was kind of like a hippie and going around and living her life. And then she was kidnapped by this alien thing. And then she just got married because, what else you do?
What else are you going to do with your captor, right?
Yeah, when you're captive. And then she has this child. By the way, the biology of how they had sex is I have a lot of questions because
I have a lot of questions about a lot of things, but that's one of them too. Yeah.
that's one of them too. And then and then this kid was born. And Freddie, you were right. So is this about MCU Star-Lord? It maybe is. Oh my god!
At this point, I don't know what it's about.
Oh my god! Now I want to read this book. If you see it from that point of view, it's actually a fairly interesting story. and then there was Hayden McGee is also saying the same thing. Alien moon that impregnates his mirror. Isn't that the plot of Guardians of the Galaxy 2? Yes, it is. But the thing is, also at the same time, there's also this very creepy father figure character that is all about porn, which okay, fine.
And more than that, he's into every nefarious thing you can think of, all of it, and it's all gross. And it's pretty really consistently, and he's super abusive to him. And that it's this thing. Mm-hmm. He's always smoking a cigar,
right?
And the little boy, I keep calling him little now. I mean, he grows up. I forget his name. Because I didn't want to pick this back up. But
his name is Moonshadow.
Oh, is it? Oh yeah. It's been so long. I don't even know. It's Moonshadow. Oh yeah, duh. You can tell I picked this up and put it back down. But speaking of more of the wall of crazy nonsense text, here you go. That's a good example.
Right.
It's too much. So I don't know. Yeah, and he was really abusive to Moonshadow, and that was constant. That never let up. According to my dad, it may let up after page 200, but I don't care at that point. I'm it's all just horrific abuse of this child. Why do I care? And I didn't like the kid either. When he started to grow up, he got kind of gross too.
It's just his environment. What are you gonna do? What else?
Yes.
What are you gonna do? But I feel like we should have had Mr. Robertson here to talk about this. Why didn't we talk about this before?
He loves it because I don't agree at all.
And he watches the show, right? Hi, Mr. Robertson.
He'll see this at some point. Yeah.
Can you come on the show at some point and give us why you love this? Justify yourself, sir.
I mean, he liked the boy. So I think if you look at it from the perspective of actually liking him, then okay. But I didn't. And I think that was the thread that was missing for me. I didn't care. Mm-hmm. I also didn't care about the so crazy storyline that's happening. I mean, it's nonsensical. None of it made sense. It wasn't even just here's some high fantasy stuff. It was just this doesn't make sense. I don't know. It was just crazy after crazy, and I couldn't handle the crazy. And I eventually was just do I want to spend 400 more pages reading this when it's going to take me a long time because it is so wordy?
Yeah.
Or do I want to pick up something I'm going to enjoy a lot more? So, I don't usually not finish things. I have a hard time just putting something down like that, but I don't think I can finish it.
Right. I mean, so the thing is, I kind of read the first 2 issues, and we were chatting about this. I'm oh my god, there's way too many text. Why? What with all the text? And I think for me, it's it's one or the other. Either you're going to be posts, or you're going to get art to do the talking for you. And I have seen Brian Michael Bendis does this interesting thing where it's the art is happening, and then he has the text on the side, and that's also a way to go. But the fact that there's all this text, and then on top of that, there's all this art going on, there's all these things going on, it was just simply disappointing. It was just too much. And the lettering is also not done very well.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I wonder if that's a product of its time, but I
Because
say that, and I know a lot of old comics that has good lettering, so I just hated the lettering. I hated it.
because
It
it's
was,
actually like, these cursive letters.
yeah, it's hard. I don't know if you can see
Yeah,
that very well, but
and the contrast is actually not
yeah,
very good.
like the light on light, like this. That's not the first time
Oh,
that happens, and
right.
that's legitimately. I had a hard time deciphering it. So
Yeah,
I felt like I was also translating text the whole time. Like, what is this?
right. And the thing is, to be honest, though, I kind of kept it like, oh, I'm going to read this weekend because, it's a long weekend. So I'm going to read this and then we're going to talk about it. Well, guess what? That didn't quite pan out because yesterday I had a major headache and I'm like, yeah, I'm still going to read it. I want to read it because I own the book and I typically really hate selling a book without reading it. So I'm going to
Mm.
read the book, but it has to be at a time when I am ready. And
I
don't
may pick it back up someday, but I just feel like I have so much to read anyway, and it's so long. I don't know. I
um,
don't know.
Freddie saying that the lettering is why I have yet to finish Abbott. If it's Abbott by Saladin Ahmed, lettering is not the only problem that book has.
Mm.
And I love Saladin Ahmed. I mean, I talked about his Black Bolt and what's his name? Quicksilver. Like, I love those to the death. He's writing Magnificent Miss Marvel, which I'm dying to read. Also, Miles Morales. So I don't say it lightly. I think Abbott was one of his first book, and it has a first book problem. Like a
Mm.
lot of lag. So Drew B is asking anyone watch Comic Book University channel. I don't know.
I don't know what that is. I do like the comic book store that's called that.
Oh,
Does that have anything to do with them?
okay. I
I
don't
don't know.
know. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, the jury is out there on this. So I mean, for me,
Yeah.
but you have definite verdict.
Just from my 130 pages, I wasn't a fan. I'm with you, and I want to kind of nail in that point of like, I'm fine with things being wordy if it makes sense to be wordy. Like, I love novels, but maybe make a novel. I don't know. That did bother me, and especially the hard lettering because the art itself, I like the art. Like, it isn't well done, but
Mhm.
putting all of these words it really distracts from it. And it's like, wait, which do we want to work with here? Like, I don't
The,
get it.
the other one is like Phil Jimenez's Wonder Woman.
Hmm.
No. And which just kind of sucks more because he's an artist. So he doesn't let his own art do the talking. Like his art drawing and like writing. I think like Jeff Lemire is like the only your boy. He's like the only person who knows how to do this properly. That you can draw and you can write and you can let your art do the talking.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
don't.
true.
I don't think this is happening. Like it just so exhausting. I'm just exhausted talking about it.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good word for this book too. I felt exhausted after I read these pages. I thought I was going to pass out. I was just like, it's so much, and again, because every single page is crazy stuff. It's all crazy. It
So there's
hurt
no,
me.
yeah, there is no way to kind of calm your brain down as
Yeah.
well. Like there is
Yeah.
nothing soothing, there's nothing calming about it, and it just like crazy after crazy, and you're just exhausted.
A
I
lot of
want it to be
crazy.
a pull quote. Like this is exhausting.
This
Kristen
is really exhausting.
Kristen Robertson. Can you imagine?
Apparently, it's beloved by someone, and that's great, and I'm happy for them. And I just now I don't know what to do with this hardcover. I wish my dad didn't own it because I'd be giving it to him.
Oh yeah, what do you do? So I mean, are you planning on like getting a new dad after this?
No, no, we've disagreed on stuff before all the time. Really, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. We agree on enough. It's fine.
Yeah, okay. So at least he's safe then.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to go look for a new daughter. You don't have to go look for a new dad.
No, we've already argued about this one. It's good. He likes it, and I said I'm happy for you. Like he was telling me why he liked it. I'm like I'm really happy for you. I can't do it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Speaking of being happy for people, I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know. Like recently, I got
Hey.
tagged. I am on record saying how much I hate the boys, and someone actually tagged me saying that. Oh, sorry for you. I'm like, what do you
Uh,
want me to say about
yeah.
that?
Like Yeah, look, enjoy your comic books. If you don't agree, I am legitimately happy for you. This is a gorgeous hardcover, so if you like this comic, get the hardcover. It is so nice, and I am legitimately happy for you. It just didn't do it for me. I wish it
Yeah, I
did.
mean, there's like so many comics that a lot of people like Starman, Invincible. I'm not too hard on them, and that's okay. And there's a lot of comic I like. People are not too hard on, and
Mm-hmm.
that's okay too.
Yeah.
What is not okay is like if you're telling me that I am wrong for my choices. I mean, that's
Or if someone doesn't like Giant Days, that's just not okay.
oh, that is where you draw the
Yeah.
line. If you don't like Join this, that's not okay.
I
Otherwise,
mean, it's okay, but it's like, what kind of person are you, right?
I mean, that's true. I mean, Giant Days, I don't know. I don't know why you would not like Giant Days. If someone don't like Giant Days, you have read it and you don't like Giant,
Yeah, let us know.
let us know.
Yeah,
We're
I want to
gonna,
know, really.
yeah, we're gonna change your mind. So we're gonna,
Probably not, but I would be interested to know why. What's
yeah,
not to love?
why? Wow, I can't think of why.
Yeah, because I'm even like, I guess if you don't like slice of life comics or you're only into superheroes, maybe those are the reasons I'm thinking.
There is
Because
superhero element in it. Remember, she does go on
I'm,
to at one point.
yeah.
There is some of that too. So yeah, Freddie saying that when I read John Barnes' Fantastic Four, I felt he was a bit worthy to compensate, so no one would accuse of depending more on art, like wanting to be recognized for writing. Skipped all those description bubble. That is so true. Drew B is asking who is more badass, Zatanna or Black Canary. As it stands right now, Black Canary. I read only one book of featuring Zatanna. I was not excited. I was not sold. I never.
I'm not familiar with either one, so I don't know.
Black Canary is
I know who they are. I've not read
okay,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
My Girl's Green Arrow.
Mm,
Girl, you gotta check that out.
I do. I know I do.
I think you gotta check that out. If you don't like it, I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I get a lot of shit from friends because I'm not a fan of Scott Snyder's Batman run, but I'm fine with my opinion, Mickey. I'm not fine with yours. I'm just kidding. You're fine. It's okay. Yeah, I really read it, and I think I was at a time when I was really needed something as action adventure, and I'm familiar with Batman as much as anyone is with the books and with the comic books and then this TV. So I thought that it was fine. It was fine. If someone said they don't like it, I'm like, I get it. It's one of those situations. I get it. Drewby says I'm canceling that, Kristen. You can't.
Why?
Yeah, why? First of all,
Why? Do you love Moon Shadow? That's fine. I'm happy for you.
no, you can. She's lovable. We can cancel Kristen. All right. So Moon Shadows. I mean, jury's out there for me. For Kristen, it's pretty much like 130 pages. She wasn't sold, and
As far as I got.
Yeah, she's probably not going to continue. So
I think my biggest gripe that I didn't mention yet is that black cat that's on the spine and it's on the inside pages. It shows up within those 130 pages. Not a lot. There needs to be more black cat. So if there was more of the cat, maybe it would solve all my issues because then maybe I would like a character. But there's just not enough of it.
You can buy Kristen's love with the cat. That's what I realized.
I mean, that's pretty much true.
That's pretty much true. Hayden said I was more into the Batman and Robin run. I was too. We're back as being good friends now again. Hayden. You bought me. You bought my affection with
full
that.
circle there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a full circle right here in Fangirls Assemble. All right. So with that out of the way, do we want to talk about an uncomfortable topic that kind of broke this week?
I guess so.
Okay. So, what happened was, and you have to excuse me, right? Keep talking, Kristen. Keep entertaining these people.
Entertain just about stuff. I will say to people that we did some single issue reviews that are going to be dropping pretty soon on the Fangirls Assemble channel. You can check out that channel, subscribe over there, links below. We checked out Kanto 1, 2, and 3.
I know it's probably blowing people's mind that we are talking about single issues, but guess what?
I'm just letting you guys know, and this is kind of cool because even if you're not into singles, it's that trade's coming. So if you want to just kind of know what's coming up, what's going to be on your radar, what we're enjoying and we're going to get later collected, like, there's some good stuff. Also, Strayed, speaking of cats, we're looking forward to that.
Right. And then also the other two, Future and Once and Future.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, that is near me, and this cover is beautiful, so we need to showcase that.
Right.
Oh,
so
it's so good.
That's also a review of that is going to be dropping on September 11th. So that's coming. And then also Fearless by Marvel's Fearless. Do show that off, Kristen.
Fearless.
Yes. You may think we have one opinion on it, and you would be wrong. Yeah. Whatever you're thinking we think about Fearless, you'd be so wrong about it. I can tell you that. Hayden Maggie says, I'm also a huge recently Kamala Khan fan. Does that make us besties? Yes, it does.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, that's how you buy my affection. Yes, it does. Drew B said, do you all have a code for me to Supergirl being super on in-stock trade? Surprisingly, we do. It's the weekend. That's the code.
That's the code. It's the weekend.
That's the code this weekend for 3% additional 3% off for all of in-stock trades. Okay, all right. So the reason I needed break to look up the name of the person, Laura Hudson. She recently came out accusing Brian Wood of DMZ and multiple other comic book fame about sexual harassment. And Brian Wood have previously had a lot of issues regarding this. 2013, I believe Tess Fowler accused him. And this is kind of coming back again. Supposedly after that, he did a whole apology tour and he was taken off from X-Men title, which he was given a lot of free reign back in the day, but he was very unceremoniously taken off. And then he continued on to do some low-key stuff in Dark Horse. And then this came out and Dark Horse has also dropped him. So anytime this kind of story comes about, there is the reason we don't want to particularly talk about this topic, this particular story. That's not, we want to kind of discuss that anytime this kind of story comes about, there is always this chatter in the interweb about art versus artist, that you have to separate artist from the art. And, I'm kind of exhausted about having to do all this mental exercise when I just want to read comic books. And I don't know, I just kind of wanted to discuss this a more details. Like, what's your thought on this?
Well, I will say, first off, whether you want to choose to read his books now or not, I think it's a personal choice, and each one is valid in their own ways. So it really depends on the person. I know I heard about this Brian Wood stuff years ago, and I've been like, yeah, I don't want to support this guy, so I'm not interested. And I haven't ever read any of his stuff, and I don't really want to. So I think when I haven't already dove into that, or his books, for instance, and then I hear stuff and I'm like, yeah, why would I want to support someone like that? So then I don't. I mean, it's pretty easy for me. I don't already have an attachment there. If something were to come out about someone I love tomorrow, maybe I'd feel different about it, but I didn't care then. And then I just continue not to care. I think, and I always come back with, it's harder with like comic creators where they're doing their own thing. So they're writing or they're writing and drawing, they're doing the whole thing. So when you support their book, you are supporting them. Right. There's not all these other people. I think about like Joss Whedon. He did some questionable things, and that came out from his like wife or his ex-wife or whatever.
Many
years later after Buffy ended and everything ended. I still love Joss Whedon work, but he's not the only one who did all these. He may have created the character, but like there's so many people involved, from the actors to the editors to the directors to the production company, like so many different people. He didn't write every script. It's easy for me to like acknowledge that I don't love what he did, but also support the work that I've loved forever because all these other people did it. It's so much harder for me personally to be like, to justify that for like one person who's putting out their own stuff.
Right. But the thing is, like, at the same time, like I had this discussion with a friend of mine is about that he's the writer, so there is artists involved. there's letterers, there are colorists. And my friend's thing was that, well, they should have known. I'm like, should they? Because these artists and colorists are often, they don't meet each other.
I was going to say, like, they're probably on different sides of the world. I mean, how are they going to know? Like, they may never meet. Yeah, like you said, like.
Right, because we talked with Ariella Christensen on the channel, and then that at that point, like she was talking about that she never hardly ever meets these people, that they don't, and she just gets sometimes it's the writer reaches out to her, like especially for the artist's point of view, it's often difficult because either they have a job or they don't. Like, it's not that they just can put their work out there without any word bubbles around them. It's, I don't know. And that's what I was saying. I'm like, for example, like at my work, I would never know if someone was this serial cripper. I would never know.
Yeah.
Even if I find out tomorrow what I'm going to do.
Well, and I mean, this whole subject in particular is really hard.
Right.
Because evidence and proof often is very difficult, and you just have to believe a person or not to believe a person. And again, I think that's just a personal thing. So again, for me, I mean, I've never been interested in any of his books either.
Right.
I know there's like one that you really liked, and that made me kind of interested in it, but I'm also like, well, I'm not going to go out and spend the money now that I know better.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though. I mean, I read that book, and then, so my history, like with this particular situation, was that I read the book, I loved it. Then I looked up, like, oh, what else he have done? And all of the time, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh no. But yeah, I mean, and that's why I kind of think about it. I'm like, if tomorrow I find out that Greg Rucka is like that, or I don't know, and in a matter of like equal opportunity, G. Willow Wilson's like that.
Yeah. You don't know. We don't know these people
until
someone comes out and tells a story that you choose to believe is true or not true. And this one in particular is hard because like there's been multiple people at this point, so it's like, oh well, yeah, I'm gonna make my own assumptions here, right? But it's hard. It's really hard, and especially if it's someone you already loved. Like for people who really loved him, it's like, oh, that sucks, because then what do you do? How do you feel? I mean, it is really personal.
I mean, and that's what I was kind of thinking about. And then also, like, I don't know, like I feel like, okay, if it's like a person being like, if a creator done something to another person, whatever shape or form that may be, because it's not just sexual harassment, it could also be like someone was just plain mean, like, just mentally abused someone or something like that. Or
even like the Chelsea Cain situation.
Right.
All the craziness that happened. I don't even mean to bring up more craziness. But that's hard in itself too, because that makes me be like, I don't want to support her anymore.
Right. No, I don't.
Because I don't like what she did.
Right. And then, so there's like that aspect of it. And then there's also creators who are like raging misogynist and racist and sexist. And I feel like that, I think, like affects me more than a personal thing, because a personal thing is two-person story. I get it. There's like multiple people, there's like whole of this. But at the same time, I often think, I'm like, okay, jury's still out there. I mean, whatever shape or form you want to talk about it, like it's an extremely gray area. But if someone comes out there and says racist and sexist thing, at that moment, it's like, okay, me as being a woman of color, you truly do not care for me. Why should I support you? At that point, it's just a mental block. Like John Byrne, for example, he said some really like terrible things. Those kind of, at that point, you're like, I'm done, dude, because that's your view. I understand. Yeah. And then the discussion at that point comes in, are they putting that view in their book? So if they're not putting that view, is that okay? I don't know. I struggle with it, because I'm like, even if they're not putting it, they're thinking it. So why am I giving them my money?
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard either way. And I mean, not everyone's going to show you the truth on the page, but sometimes that does happen too. And you read something, you're like, oh, if they feel this way, like, why would I want to support? You could tell a lot from a work that maybe, if you step back, you're like, oh, you're showing me something about yourself that I didn't even realize.
Right. And that's the thing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, I feel like and it's kind of surprising that oftentimes I am still willing to say, like, if it's like, okay, one person comes out with an accusation, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to say which, but if it's a multiple person, then you're like, okay, we need to. But then if someone comes out and says some racist and sexist shit, it's like, no, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, and you see them do that. So, I mean, that's easy to be like, oh, yeah, I saw you do that. Like, I know you feel that way because you said it.
Exactly. I mean, that's kind of like, how, and then, there have been certain situation where some people has been really like, 101 has been greatest person ever, and then you see their Twitter and their Facebook activity, and then you're like, were you thinking that when I was talking to you? Like,
and I think it's hard with comic creators, especially because, we're just, well, I guess any fiction writer, right, or artist, because we're just reading their work. I mean, I'm going to pick up Fearless, and I don't know any of these people. I may not follow any of them on Twitter. They may be terrible. I don't know. I'm just reading this, and this is all I got, right?
Right.
But I think when we can inform ourselves, that's when, and more of this stuff is coming out because that's just the culture we live in.
Right.
It makes it hard to support that. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's also another exhausting thing because, my God, news cycle, Twitter, Facebook, it's just out there. Like, I can you imagine even like, back in 1980s where it's like, oh, this person have done, how would you know? Like, if it would be in a newspaper that you didn't know, and then how would you know? So how were you consuming then and how are you consuming now? And
we know more now. We know that people can be so terrible now because we're able to share that information, which is great and powerful. And I think we should keep doing it. But, like maybe people wouldn't have just assumed that because Ted Bundy was attractive, he can't murder a lot of people. But it was a different time, Yeah. So all these people were just like, you're acting nice to me. And I think you're really nice and great. And you look nice. So you must be nice. So different now.
Right. It is just like, so I don't even know. Drew B, he was saying that who remembers when the fight choreographer on Buffy exposed Sarah Michelle Gellar? Do you know what that is?
No idea what that is. Don't know what that means.
Oh, okay.
So Drew, I don't remember. You want to tell me about it?
Yeah, do tell us about it. Freddie B saying, bring up all the crazy. I know, right? And then Freddie also said, like that X-Men Gold artist. Do tell us what that about.
Yeah, what artist?
Yeah.
See, and that's another thing. I feel like with this comic stuff, though we're in this community and we're kind of tied into it, there's still some stuff that slips between the cracks. Like even this Brian Wood thing, when this came out, so many people were like, what? I didn't know he was awful, and I'm like, I knew this years ago and I don't even read his stuff. So like, somewhere we don't get all the information sometimes.
Right, and to be honest, I'll be honest with you though, because I'm someone who's completely detached from social media, other than the Facebook group. I know Facebook group and our Instagram. That I don't even go on Twitter. You handle that, like
I send you stuff. Yeah,
you send me stuff and stuff like that. I wouldn't know if you didn't send me. If that wasn't posted on I would not know.
Yeah, no, and that's totally fair. And then sometimes I mispost in the group. So like I'm not going to know about stuff and you're not going to see this on the news. Like no one cares about comic creators on the news. That's just how it is, Right. They're not like big celebrities.
Yeah. I mean, so that's one of the reasons like a lot of people are like, oh, like, I mean, I kind of see when people say that I didn't know about it because sure, like to be honest though, I wouldn't have known if I wasn't part of this community.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Totally. Yeah, and if you were just picking up comics at a shop and not even talking about them online like we are,
right,
you wouldn't know anything,
Right. The anti-Jewish artist who snuck anti-Jew message in the X-Men issue with Kitty Pryde. Oh. Yes, I do remember.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, it was one of the things. I'm like, no, as a Muslim person, I disown this other Muslim person because we do not support that behavior. Like, no, that is. Yeah, Adrian Saif, I think was the name. Yeah, we do not support that behavior because, and that to me is like even more mind-boggling. You are also part of a community that is just as oppressed. How are you doing this?
Yeah.
It's just so annoying. Like, anyway.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing that I just don't understand about life and people.
Right. Drew B mentioned that my hair looks good today. Well, thank you.
Oh, so nice.
Thank you. Hayden McGee says, I was the same when all homophobic stuff about Kevin Hart came out. As a gay person, I was just not into supporting him and his movie. Well, that's also another thing.
Yeah. So that's the kind of thing, like, you got to make that personal decision for yourself.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's the same with companies, right? We're finding out that, like, all these major corporations, like, some fund terrible people or things, or people that think certain things about you got to make that decision. Where does your money go? And that's hard too, because some of these big corporations employ all these people, which is a great thing. And then if you stop supporting it, it's all hard. It's all so hard.
Right. Yeah. It's like, you can't, like, and also, like, to the point of the big corporation, like, there has been all this interesting news about the Marvel Ike Perlmutter, I think his name, like, there was like a lot of censorship going on, and a lot of this thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. How does me buying Saladin Ahmed's book plays into paying Ike Perlmutter's salary?
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's hard too, right?
Yeah. Can you even imagine, like, that, making that mental note? Because it's like, I'm not going to not read Magnificent Miss Marvel. Because
totally. Yeah, so I can understand when people are just like, you know what, I gotta just read what I want to read, and that's fine, and that's great, and I get it, because these decisions are hard. Because then it's like, well, if you swear off all the books by this person, what about the company they're working for, or the colorist who did their work, or
right? It just it goes on and on. I mean, and I don't even know. Drew B says he posted about the Buffy situation. He posted some home videos on social media around 2013 showing Sarah being an a-hole on set during fight scene on The Wish. He said she was always like that. I don't even know.
Well, she was never my favorite, so I'm okay.
Really?
I love Buffy, but Buffy's not my favorite. Come on.
You're more Willow?
I mean, I love Willow. Spike was always my favorite, though. Okay. Giles, the whole gang, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, that sucks, though.
Notoriously being awful on set, same as Ellen. I don't know who that is.
Ellen DeGeneres? You know Ellen.
Oh, really?
I've heard that too, but I've also heard she's great. So, like, those sort of things I think vary as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that, similar to people accusing, unless multiple people comes out and then says the similar thing, it's very hard to make a judgment. I don't know. Like, I don't know. And then DH McAdams, I'm insulated pretty much. Honestly, I don't hear it here. If I don't hear it here in the group, I never know anything. I'm with him. Like, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Like, just like, I'm in the same way. Like, most of the time now I'm knowing more things because you were sending me the tweets. That's how I get most of my news. And this is why no one is going to the good place. Thank you, Freddie, for that reference. So yeah, there was a question about Dark Wings.
Oh yeah, he said ever since I pointed out Darkwing back here, he finds himself straining to see if he's leaning now. Like, I have him right here usually, and he's like leaning against this because I can't make him sit on his butt properly. He fell like right when I sat down, and I was like, all right, forget it. You're just gonna be on the floor. Like,
right. Anyway, all right. So, anything else to add to that? I mean, the final remark is complicated. You do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all complicated. Just like Sarah Michelle Gellar, if she sucks, that sucks. But I'm still gonna watch Buffy. Like, I don't know.
Right. Like, that's also another thing. Anyway, so with that, anything additional anything to add? More to add?
About that, it's just hard. It's complicated. And if you guys, have certain thoughts on that, leave a comment below. We want to know about it. Leave a comment in the chat right now. And if you have any general questions, we're here to chat too. Which I'll get Darkwing. Here he is. He's really hard at leaning. He's got a huge head. His hat's big. I mean, this big butt just like won't sit properly. I'll try it right now. No. Like, no. Just do this for like 20 minutes. I mean, it's so difficult. Why is he? Oh, okay, got him. But he's he looks drunk. I don't know how else to keep him there.
So if you want to see more of Kristen doing that thing with the Darkwing Duck, you can follow us at our channel at Fangirls Assemble. The link to that is down below. All our social media, the link for those is also down below. And if you're you can just go over there and leave us a comment in any other thing. I want to see Kristen doing that to the Darkwing for 30 minutes. We'll make it happen because
we could do that. It would be see how many times I can get him to actually say it.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. And there's as Kristen mentioned, there's also some interesting issue reviews coming up over there as well. So
got some coming.
All of that. So Fangirls Assemble, the channel is a place to be. So do go that. And, we're always here every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today we had discussed a very complicated topic. But what is not complicated is to go to InStockTrades.com for all your collected edition needs, like Marvel, DC, Image, Dark Horse. All of them are 42% to 50% off at times. This weekend, there is a code going on that is additional 3% off, and it's called It's the Weekend, because it is the weekend. And you can also get Heathen Volume 2, which is our pick of the month for August, but that is going to be available for 40% off or 43% off with the code until this Tuesday. And we love the Heathen. We love that.
Yeah, so good.
I mean, today we kind of was not very kind to one of our pick of the week, Shadows, but we know for a fact that is where we would be we would love it. We can already tell that. So at some point that is going to be happening as well, and we're going to be back same place next week. But if you want to see more of us, Fangirls Assemble channel is the place to be.
And you can go over there, let us know if you want us to read a certain book that you really like, that you want to hear us talk about. We would love to know. We never really know what books to pick anymore because we got too many. Because we got them at IST.
We got too many. I mean, too many. My God. All right then. See you next week. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.